All right, are you ready to break through?
Yes.
And to break out?
Yes.
Into unlimited success, prosperity, and
money.
Some of you didn't quite get the money. You know, I can tell a lot about your financial psychology by the way you say money. Some people say it as if they're afraid of it. So let's try that once again. Are you ready to break out into unlimited success, prosperity, and
money?
Woo! Okay, give yourselves a great big hand. All right, you sound like it, so I tell you what, first of all, let's stand. That's it. Some of you, you look too comfortable. Yeah. You know, there's a verse of Scripture that says, woe be unto them who are at ease in Zion. But you see, he's already made his money, so he can just rest on his laurels. Anyway, I want you to understand that this is a participatory session. It's not just me standing up here talking at you or talking to you, but you're going to participate. And it's good for us to state our purpose right at the beginning. You know, when you give your mind a purpose, your mind will work what seems like miracles to attain that purpose. But it's good to state your purpose. And so we're going to state our purpose by just saying to the person next to you, I am ready to break out into greater success, prosperity, and money. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Give yourselves a great big hand. Okay. You may be seated for a moment. Now take out Reverend Ike's book, Health, Happiness, Prosperity for You, and turn to the lesson notes that we're going to use for this session. We're going to talk about 4 steps to breaking out into greater success, prosperity, and money. And we're starting on page 184. And it's a chapter that is titled 4 Steps to Get What You Want. Now, isn't it good to know that? Huh?
Yes.
Well, talk like it. I don't want to have to sing Dry Bones again today. All right. And let me take this moment again to express my great appreciation to this congregation and to the Reverend Doctors Frank and Anita Richelieu for giving me this opportunity to share with you again. All right. 4 steps for breaking out and breaking through into greater success, prosperity, and money, and all of the good that you desire. Well, the first thing that you do to get what you want, and I'm going to have Terry Hudson come up here, I hope he's listening, and write these 4 steps as I shall talk about them on the board over here. This will help us to demonstrate it. You know, they say that one picture's better than 1,000 words. So the first thing that you do in order to get what you want, in order to break out into greater success, prosperity, and money, is to decide it. That's simple. So let me hear you say, decide it.
Decide it.
Now, I know some of you are saying, well, gee, I came here to hear some kind of profound idea. Now, you would be surprised at how profound that statement is. Just 2 words, a sentence of just 2 words. The subject understood to be you. You decide. Touch yourself and say, I must decide.
I must decide.
The late Dr. Raymond Charles Barker had a book titled The Power of Decision, and he and I did a television program of mine in New York on that subject some years ago. Because you see, there is power in decision. And by the way, if you don't have this book, you'd better get it. At the break, I'll sign it. See, I have to stop and do a commercial here. They do that on TV anyway. There is a special chapter in this book about the power of decision on page 57, or rather page 59. And so this book is full of ideas that will help you to break out into unlimited success, prosperity, and money. And I'm on page 184 now. So what is the first thing that you do to get what you want, or to break out into a great experience of anything?
Decide.
Boy, this is a brilliant class. You see, nothing's going to happen until I make a decision. Let's hear it.
Nothing's going to happen until I make a decision.
And as I say, that may sound so simple, but every time I talk about people deciding, I remember the time when we were at this very fancy restaurant in Century City, and there were a number of people sitting around the table to have lunch with me. And the captain came and gave us some of the biggest menus that I have ever seen. I don't think I've seen restaurant menus that big since. And so I and several other people sat around that table looking at those menus. And after a while, the waiter came and asked each person, well, what do you want? And each person told what he wanted. If somebody goes to a restaurant with me, I usually say, whoever's already decided, say what you want first. That's usually me. Because I know what I want. Now, you see, you've got to get clear on that. You've got to come to the point in your own mentality where you can say, I know what I want. Let me hear it.
I know what I want.
And you see, you're not going to get it until you know what you want. So anyway, back to the restaurant and around that table. Finally, when he came to one young man, he was behind that big menu just looking. And his brow was furrowed, you know, in a puzzled sort of expression. And the waiter said to him, sir, what do you want? He looked up and he said some immortal words. He said, I don't know what I want. Let me tell you something. I've been a minister and a counselor, a spiritual counselor, since I was 14. You know, it's interesting. I preached my first sermon at age 14. And the next day, a man came to me for marriage counseling. He and his wife weren't doing so good. So he heard me preach that night, and so I guess he thought I had all the answers. And so I had to find some answers. I couldn't let him know that I didn't have all the answers. But anyway, I said that to say this. Having been a minister and a spiritual counselor since 14, more than 42 years, isn't that something? That had to be before I was born. Take a good look at me, you know. But anyway, I have discovered that in general, people don't know what they want. So I've got an exercise for you. You can start it now. You can start it now, or when you get home, take a blank piece of paper and right up at the top of that paper, write the question, what do I want? Come on, say it.
What do I want?
You see, you can't break through, you can't break out, you can't do anything until you know what you want to be, to do, and to have. Now, you must become absolutely clear about that.